Welcome to Daily Steps from One Extraordinary Marriage, where we outline simple steps that you can take to have the ultimate marriage adventure. I'm Tony DeLorenzo, your co-host, along with my beautiful wife, Elisa. In today's show, we answer the question, is it okay for a couple to use sex toys in the bedroom?
This is an emphatic yes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Like, don't have to pass go to collect $200. Don't have to go around the block 4 times. The answer is yes. It is okay for couples to use sex toys in the bedroom. And before we even jump into this show, let's just talk a little bit about what sex toys might be. Because you may be thinking of only one thing, but there's like a whole wide world out there. And let's just all get on the same page.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say there's an array.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say that. And Elise and I have used many. Some of them we haven't, but we're going to just sort of give you an idea what sex toys are and can be in your marriage. You can use lubes. Mm-hmm. Lubes can add an element of excitement that you would not imagine. Dildos, vibrators, performance enhancers. You can look at sex furniture. So you have... there's like these wedges. Mm-hmm. It's called, I think, Liberator. If you want to check out, we have a number of these on our Amazon shop. You can go to oneextraordinarymarriage.com/Amazon shop. Check those out. But, you have like wedges, you have pillows. Those are all items that can be added to enhance the sexual experience.
Absolutely. And, as you look at that, you start thinking about the fact that between a husband and a wife, let me just be real clear. Not every couple has the same sex life.
True.
Right? So whether you're comparing yourself to the celebrity that's, just had the biggest blow up on, the grocery store tabloid magazine, or what came across your Facebook feed, or what was plastered all over the news about this or that happening, come back into your own bedroom and deal with what's going on here. Right? Because the whole conversation around sex toys is one of many conversations in regard to your sex life. Right? Because using sex toys, that's just one aspect. Mm-hmm. Right? And so getting to this place where you're like, can we? Do we want to? Well, what type? When? Those are excellent questions, but you have to ask them.
You do definitely need to ask them. And for Elisa and I, it was one of those things like, do we want to use those? Do we not? We were unclear. Because honestly, in our society, there's a lot of like shame put on a couple who may use those. Mm-hmm. There really is. And one thing Elisa and I have said many, many a times, whatever you do in your bedroom between you, your spouse, and God, that's up to you guys. That's up to you guys. And so what we do in our bedroom may be completely different than what you guys do. Hey, no judgment here. If you guys want to use an awesome vibrator and it helps for your sexual enhancement, go for it. We did. Mm-hmm. And have. And right now we're not. Maybe in the future we may again.
And you hit on such a good point right there, is that different toys in different seasons.
Sure thing.
Right? Because here we've used different lubes over the years.
Got a great one right now.
Well, we actually have like 2 or 3.
I know, but our sensation is the best.
Before we even knew that there was such a thing as pillows, we would prop ourselves up with different pillows to create different environments. Now that there are actually pillows out there designed for the purpose, I'm like, thank God somebody came up with this, right? We've used different vibrators. We've used penis rings. We've used all of these different things. And in season, as we've talked about it, as we've tried it, as we're like, does this work for us? Does this not work for us? Is it working for you? Is it working for me? Like all of a sudden that becomes an added layer of depth to our sex life. But it starts with those conversations. And you've probably heard us mention it once or twice. Those conversations start outside of the bedroom, right? If the two of you want to introduce something new, right? You want to experiment with sex toys. You want to, bring home that vibrator or order a lube or do something like that. You need to have the conversation prior to when you're going to pull it out and be like, hey, let's try this.
Yeah, because that's never good, especially if you're like, oh, this is going to be the greatest thing ever. I think I did that once or twice back in the day when we were early married and throwing something up and thinking like, this is going to be the greatest thing ever. And Elisa honestly rolling over and not saying a word. Like, we're not even going down that road. And so one of the best ways, like Elisa was saying, talk about it outside your bedroom, talk about your sexual intimacy outside of the bedroom. So when you guys enter into that and you want to bring in sex toys, you guys are both on the same path. And the best way to start right now is go get our 19 questions to amazing sex with your spouse. And you can get that at oneextraordinarymarriage.com/19 questions. Ask and answer those questions together. And there's a question in there. Would you be willing to use sex toys? And if so, what kind? And this may mean that you guys need to go through our Amazon shop and start clicking and looking. Hey, what does this do? What would it do? How does it work? You don't know unless you try. There are things that we've tried that we don't like, positions we've tried that we don't like, lubes we've tried that we don't like. But it's okay because we learn from that and then we can go, okay, well, what does work?
Oh, because we found a lot that have worked.
Yes.
And we wouldn't have known because early on in our marriage, I used to say the word no with ridiculous frequency. Tony would say, let's do this. Let's try this. I want to introduce this. And I'd say, no, 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 no. And I hadn't developed the ability to have a conversation with Tony around our sex life. I wasn't comfortable with it. I didn't think people actually talked about their sex life. I don't know how it was supposed to get better, but I didn't think talking about it was going to help. And when we started talking about it and realizing these things, I realized that all of that saying no became very confusing because it was this like brick wall that I was putting up all the time. Instead, if you do get that answer to, you're like, hey, let's use a vibrator. No. Okay. The next part of that question is that a no, not ever? Or is that a no, I'm not really comfortable with that right now? Because there may be some things that you're absolutely like, no. Never, 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 never. And there are things that you may just need more information on, right? And if you're the one that wants to give the no, but it's a no, not right now, then start asking the questions. Have the conversation with your spouse about, okay, what does that look like to you? What were you thinking? How do you think we're going to introduce this toy into our bedroom? Right? Not in an accusational, defensive way, but just say, tell me more about that looks like for you.
And start with one. You don't need to start with a bunch. Start with one. Find something that the both of you can agree on. Hey, maybe the vibrator right now isn't the thing. Okay, great. Put that one aside. Look through. Is there something else that you're looking at that you go, hey, you know what? This one looks cool though. We could try that. I mean, what if we try this one today? So start slow. We didn't have a basket full of things.
We still don't have a basket full of things.
We still don't. I mean, in all honesty, the vibrator that we used for a while that really enhanced our sexual intimacy was just like a little finger vibrator. And you'll see it there on that Amazon shop. We still have it there because it truly transformed the way that we are able to use that product in its season. And honestly, we haven't used it in a long while. It's just, it allowed us, so in a season where we felt dry, it was time to kick it up a notch. Now there are other things that we have added in that we do enjoy now.
Right. And that's part of the process, right? Introducing sex toys is not just one conversation. Are we going to, or are we not? Can we do this or can we not? And that's it. Because your bodies are going to change over the life of your marriage. Your responses are going to change over the life of your marriage. So bring that all in on just saying, what is the possibility? Right? What does this look like for us? And just in closing with this show, I just want to give one little caveat that toys, whatever you choose, vibrator, oils, lubricants, whatever it is, whatever those things are, they're never meant to be a replacement for the connection that the two of you have. Right? It's not going to a device. It's not going to a toy instead of going to your spouse and having that time. It's something that the two of you can use to enhance your time together.
For more information on this topic, check out oneextraordinarymarriage.com/393.